Joss arrives at the Metro Court pool and spots Trina and Kai by the pool. Trina invites her to join them. Emma is there too, and is not pleased to see Joss. Emma notes Dalton's presence near the bar and tables, and wonders if they are keeping Joss from something. Joss says she has to work today, and walks over to Dalton. Emma complains to Trina that she knows Joss is her bestie, but Joss sabotaged her and stole her job. Trina tells Emma that Joss wouldn't take a job she didn't earn. Kai and Trina then hit the pool. Sidwell and Jordan meet with Henry Dalton. Sidwell informs Jordan that the professor is doing cutting-edge research. Joss approaches them, and Henry introduces Joss to Jordan and Sidwell. Joss already knows Jordan, and Jordan explains to Sidwell that Joss is Carly's daughter. Sidwell invites Joss to join them, and Henry praises Joss for passing his rigorous screening process. He learned he needs to be able to trust completely those he works with, a lesson he learned the hard way. He also informs Joss that Sidwell has generously funded his new batch of research. Sidwell suggests Henry tell Jordan what he's working on. Henry explains he's working on a new type of clean energy. Later, Joss gets a phone call and is called away, and Sidwell also has to leave. However, Sidwell suggests Jordan stay and get to know Henry. Jordan tells Dalton that she's looking forward to learning about his exciting research. Dalton tells her it's all hush-hush right now, as he doesn't want it being publicly scrutinized before it's completed. Meanwhile, Trina and Kai push Emma to join them in the pool. She does, and Dalton watches Emma ditch her robe and enter the pool in her bikini. Emma gives him a look back, but it's not exactly a warm one. At the Quartermains, Gloria is glad Gio has come home to his family, but he says he's only here to get his stuff and split. Lois tells him that she knows he's angry, but Brooke Lynn had nothing to do with this and never knew he was her son. Gio asks Brooke Lynn if they made her give him up too. Brooke Lynn says nobody made her give Gio up, and that was her decision. She explains that she was a teen, and she wanted him to have a family that could take care of him. He feels she didn't want him, as if she did, she would have found a way to keep him. Brooke Lynn says giving him up was the ultimate act of love she could do for him. Lois insists it's true, and Brooke Lynn never thought she'd see him again. Gloria tells Gio they found him a good mother in Camilla, who loved him and he loved her. Gio says even when his mom was dying, she didn't tell him the truth. Lois explains that they talked to Camilla and agreed not to tell Gio the truth as it would be too hard on him to understand while his mother was dying. Brooke Lynn asks, "Wait, did you pressure a dying woman to keep your secret?" Gloria scolds Brooke Lynn and says how dare she say that to them. Gloria and Lois both reveal that Camilla didn't want to break Gio's heart as she was dying. Lois says if Brooke Lynn wished to keep Gio, they would have helped her. Gloria adds that if Camilla wanted to tell Gio the truth, they would have supported her. Brooke Lynn says she understands why they didn't tell her about Gio before Camilla died, but after she did die, Brooke Lynn feels that she could have helped Gio. She tells Lois and Gloria she wants them out of her sight and to go back to Bensonhurst. Lois tells her mom they should go and they walk out. At Alex's office, she asks if Marco is asking her if she's laundering money. He isn't, but he knows how easy it is to get involved in shady investment schemes. She assures him she is good, and the Doulos Fund isn't a shell company, and she is confident in her investments. He says to know that he's here to help in the future. That's when Alexis gets a call. At Sonny's, Danny tells his father that he owes him an apology for how he treated him after discovering he was his father. Sonny says it's not necessary, and he is sure that in time, Gio will come around and learn to accept him. Dante has to get to Michael's court case and thanks his dad. In court, Diane gives Rick her list of witnesses and suggests Willow take the offer they've made her. Rick refuses it. Jason, Carly, Christina, Michael, Tracy, and Sasha arrive outside the courtroom, as do Willow, Nina, and Drew. Willow is having difficulty feeling confident, but when Nina sees Sasha, she assures her daughter that everything will work out fine. Tracy walks over to Drew and says she's sorry she's out of ketamine, so he'll have to get more elsewhere. Meanwhile, Christina asks Carly if Jason admitted to being Sasha's baby daddy. Carly says he hasn't, and she hasn't pushed him. Nearby, Sasha is worried Rick may know the truth about her baby, but Jason assures her he doesn't. Court is about to start, but Diane tells Jason they have a problem. She isn't calling him to testify, as Rick could use it to claim Michael was put in danger in the first place because of his proximity to him and his father. She even believes Jason shouldn't be in the courtroom, as being there could give Rick a chance to call him. Michael knows Dane right, and Jason tells Michael to go get those kids and know he's a great father. Rick calls Alexis and orders her to come down to the courthouse. She says she doesn't have a court date today. Rick says, "You don't, but Christina does." He says Diane put Christina on her witness list, and he is worried she'll say Willow used Michael's torched body as a bargaining chip, so she needs to stop her, or he may bring up the brake line incident while Christina is on the stand. He tells her to do what she needs to do fast. Court begins, and Diane states her client Michael wants full custody of his children. She will argue Willow threw away her marriage and family when she had an affair with Michael's uncle, Congressman Drew Cain. They also offer Willow $5 million as a divorce settlement. Rick counter argues that Willow is a good mother and she will be seeking full custody of the children. The judge tells Diane to call her first witness. Carly takes the stand and says she was at the Quartermaine Christmas party, where Willow and Drew's affair video was played. She went to the gatehouse afterward and found Nina and Willow trying to take the children. She argues that Michael let Willow take the kids as it was best for the children at the moment, who were already tired and upset due to the late hour they were dragged out of bed. Diane then questions Carly about Willow taking the kids to D.C. with Drew. Carly says Michael did not authorize her to take the kids across state lines. The only reason they knew about the trip was because Wiley called her saying Willow was in Uncle Drew's room at the time. Chase is called next about being tasked with taking the children from Willow under a court order. Diane also says she knows he was once married to Willow and asks if she was faithful to him. Chase looks at Michael and says she wasn't, and admits that Willow cheated on him with Michael. A recess is called, and Rick assures Drew that everything is going well. He says Diane is only covering old evidence, while they have new, compelling evidence. Rick looks at Nina. Outside the courtroom, Dante arrives at the same time Alexis does. He spies Alexis grab Christina and drag her off, but he doesn't hear Alexis tell Christina they have to leave to keep both of them out of prison. Diane begins to plan her lineup of witnesses, only for Dante to reveal that Christina just left with Alexis. Diane was counting on her to explain what happened at the hospital after Michael was burned, but Michael knows someone else they can call to testify about that. Court resumes and Dante is called to the stand and testifies per Diane's questioning that the device in Sonny's penthouse that injured Michael was not meant for him. Rick cross-examines and has Dante confirm Michael's arrest and sentencing to prison for manslaughter years ago. Diane counters and asks Dante to explain the circumstances of the arrest. Dante explains that Michael was stopping Claudia Zacchara from absconding with his baby sister, Christina. Rick cross-examines again and has Dante confirm that Michael bludgeoned Claudia with an axe handle, and the charge was involuntary manslaughter and not defensive manslaughter. Tracy is called to the stand next by Diane and testifies that Michael is the future of her family as Monica and Alan's only living grandson. Diane asks about Drew's place in the family, and Tracy testified that ever since the beginning, Drew has wanted everything that Michael has had, including Michael's wife. Rick cross-examines and questions Tracy about her arrest for kidnapping Amelia and Wiley. She says she was babysitting them for Michael, and this hearing is not about her, but Willow's fitness as a mother. Rick again asks if she was charged with kidnapping, and Tracy is forced to answer yes. Tracy leaves, having done her part, and Diane is about to call Michael to the stand. That's when Joss, whom Diane has called as a surprise witness, appears. Because she wasn't on the list, Rick forces the judge to refuse to give Diane time to prep Joss. Joss gets on the stand and testifies that Willow used Michael's burns as a bargaining chip and forbade his family from seeing him until she got her kids back. She also says Drew stood by her side and supported her as she used Michael in this way. Rick cross-examines and asks Joss about her mother, Carly, stealing the children from Willow and their home. Joss says her mother had a legal court order to take the children, and they weren't at home, but staying at Nina's. Rick asks Joss to confirm that Willow's only desire has always been to be with her children. Carly watches and hopes Joss doesn't take Rick's bait. Christina and Alexis return to Alexa's office, and Marco interrupts and says Diane wants to know why she took Christina out of court. Christina says she'll call and tell Diane that it was too triggering after the last time Rick shredded her on the stand. Christina tells Marco they haven't met and introduces herself as the family reject. Marco introduces himself, though he does not mention Natalia or Blaze, and says he's only heard nice things about her. Marco leaves them, and Christina thinks she should return to court. Alexis forbids it and reminds her she's running the show now after Christina almost killed 2 people while trying to kill a third. Jason arrives at Sunny's, and he assumes Diane ordered him out of the court for Michael's benefit. They discuss what happened with Gio, who wants nothing to do with the Quartermaines. Jason says the Qs are furious with Lois, and Sunny says they aren't the only ones. Lois arrives later and tells Sunny that she and her mom are returning to Bensonhurst. Her daughter wants nothing to do with her or her mom, and she asks Sunny to look out for Gio, as she is worried about him, and he feels he has no one right now. Sunny says he will. Lois tells him goodbye and exits. Back at the Q mansion, Brooklyn tells Gio that she knows this is hard, but she'd like him to consider staying. Gio knows they were both lied to, but the fact is, none of them wanted him, and the feeling is mutual. Gio walks out. On the next General Hospital, Gio is unsure he can trust Sunny. In court, Rick asks Sasha when the last time she slept with Michael was. Brooklyn confronts Lulu and tells her she finally got what she wanted and destroyed her life. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Nurse Willow Corinthos may deliver Sasha Corbin's baby and help bring Michael Corinthos' newborn into the world. The trouble will start when Rick Lansing upsets Sasha on the witness stand with questions about her previous encounters with Michael. Rick will specifically want to know when Sasha last slept with Michael, since he'll be gearing up for some paternity accusations. Nina Reeves clearly set all this in motion by spilling to Rick about her discovery at Brown Dog Bar. Thanks to the bartender's news, Nina figured out that Michael must be the father of Sasha's unborn child. However, Nina didn't count on Sasha going into early labor in the courtroom. It looks like Sasha's labor pains will start as part of the cliffhanger on the June 4 episode. Then on June 5, Willow will find herself in a situation where she's forced to take action right away. Willow is a trained nurse and obviously knows how to handle emergency situations like this. It sounds like Willow will put all her issues with Sasha aside and jump up to help her immediately. If the paramedics can't get there in time, Willow may be forced to deliver Sasha's baby on the spot. It'd be awfully soapy for Willow to take the lead on this, since Michael cheated with Sasha and got her pregnant. Of course, Willow is a cheater too, since she slept with Drew Kane during her marriage to Michael. There's a lot of pain on both sides in Willow and Michael's relationship, but none of it will matter much when Sasha's baby is coming, and fast. The stakes will be extra high since Sasha's previous baby boy, Liam Corbin, didn't make it in the end. Sasha may beg Willow to help keep Liam's little sibling alive, so Willow will certainly do everything in her power to make that happen. Naturally, it's possible that the paramedics will arrive at some point and take over. Sasha's actual delivery could happen at GH, but it'll be far more exciting if Willow winds up delivering the baby herself. General Hospital spoilers say Willow may become Sasha and Michael's hero when this baby crisis strikes, so stick with us for updates on all the shockers to come. General Hospital recap for Tuesday, June 3, reveals that Jason Morgan was banned from the courtroom while Professor Henry Hank Daltons got creepy with all his poolside staring at Emma Scorpio Drake. Here's how Tuesday's action-packed GH episode played out. By the Metro Court pool, Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson bumped into Emma, who wasn't happy when Jocelyn Jacks popped up as well. After Jocelyn saw Professor Dalton and walked toward him, Emma complained to Trina and Kai about Joss stealing her research assistant gig. Trina argued that Jocelyn wouldn't have taken a position that she didn't earn. Nearby, Jen Sidwell brought Jordan Ashford over to Professor Dalton's table and played up his groundbreaking research that would change the world. After Jocelyn appeared with some research-related updates, Professor Dalton invited her to join them and explained that she was his new assistant. Jocelyn sat down with Dalton, Sidwell, and Jordan, so there was some talk about the professor's thorough vetting process. Professor Dalton needed to know he could trust the people who worked for him since he'd been burned in the past. After Professor Dalton talked about developing a new path to clean energy, Jocelyn stepped away to take a phone call. Jordan talked with Professor Dalton alone after Sidwell took off, but he eventually got distracted as he ogled Emma in her bikini. At Sonny Corinthos' place, Dan Falconeri apologized for how he treated Sonny when he first found out they were father and son. Sonny put the focus on Giovanni Gio Palmieri now and still considered Lois Cerullo a friend despite her deception. At the Quartermain mansion, Gio wasn't there to see Lois, Gloria Cerullo, and Brooklyn Quartermain. Gio just wanted to grab the rest of his things and leave, but Lois piped up in defense of Brooklyn. Although Brooklyn had been in the dark on Gio being her son, he was still upset over her not wanting him. Brooklyn argued that she couldn't care for Gio as a scared teen, which wasn't the same thing. Gloria thought Gio should be grateful that they found him a good home and reminded him of how much he loved his adoptive mother, Camilla Palmieri. Gio acknowledged that he did, but he was still outraged over all the lies. Since Camilla even lied on her deathbed, Brooklyn questioned whether Lois and Gloria pressured a dying woman to keep quiet. However, Lois and Gloria made it clear that Camilla made the decision for herself. Although Brooklyn also made the decision to give up her baby boy, she ranted about Gloria and Lois not telling her about Gio once Camilla passed away. Brooklyn got fed up with both Lois and Gloria, so she ordered them both to get out. Although Lois planned to pack up her belongings, Brooklyn snapped that she'd have them sent to Bensonhurst instead. Once Gloria and Lois were gone, Gio acknowledged that Brooklyn had been lied to like him. Even so, Gio refused to stay at the Q mansion and rejected his family since he hadn't been wanted. At the law office, Alexis Davis downplayed any money laundering concerns and acted like she was confident in all her investments, but Marco Rios was there to help if she ever needed it. After Rick Lansing saw that Diane Miller was calling Christina Corinthos Davis as a witness, he got Alexis on the phone and told her to get down to the courthouse. Rick used his leverage to convince Alexis that she had to come collect Christina and stop her from testifying. Alexis did as she was told, so she ultimately brought Christina back to the law office, where Christina met Marco. As for Jason, Diane refused to let him testify or even be in the courtroom since it could hurt Michael's case. Diane didn't want to open the door for Rick to focus on the incendiary device and all the Sonny danger. Jason and Sonny discussed all the latest court news soon after. Later, Lois showed up to tell Sonny goodbye now that Brooke Lynn was sending her back to Bensonhurst along with Gloria. In the courtroom, Diane told Judge Eva Heron that Michael was seeking sole custody and offering Willow Corinthos $5 million as a divorce settlement. Rick insisted Willow wanted her children and made it clear that she couldn't be bought out of that stance. Carly Spencer took the stand to testify about the nursery video and how Willow tried to bolt with the kids soon after. There was some talk about Willow taking the kids across state lines for Drew's inauguration without Michael's permission. Harrison Chase also got on the stand and faced questions about Willow's previous infidelity, though Rick was quick to make him point out that Willow cheated with Michael. As for Dante, Rick made him discuss Michael's incendiary device injuries and previous criminal record. Deanne did her best to downplay Michael's prison stint since he trying to save Jocelyn as a baby. During Tracy Quartermain's time on the stand, she addressed the kidnapping drama she'd been accused of and argued that Drew had always wanted what Michael had, including his wife, Willow. During a break, Drew Kane was upset over how Rick was handling the case, but Rick argued that Diane was just rehashing things they already knew. Rick hinted about having new info, and based on Nina Reeves' guilty looks regarding Sasha Corbin, it certainly seemed like she'd spilled to Rick about Michael being her baby daddy. After Jocelyn took the stand, Rick quizzed her about the court order and kept trying to get a reaction out of her. Rick played up how Willow was doing what any mother would do by fighting for her children, but Carly hoped Joss wouldn't take the bait. General Hospital spoilers say there's much more custody drama to come, so stay tuned. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Rory Gibson made a splashy debut on the ABC soap during the 2025 Nurses Ball as the Michael Corinthos recast. As the new actor makes Michael his own, his predecessor recently posted an update of his own on social media. Some GH fans still miss Duell, who exited the daytime drama in late 2024, with his character departing from storylines in early 2025. Of course, the IG account Duell tagged was photographer John Anthony Sutton. Chad Duell looks like he's in great shape and even better spirits, which is a nice thing for fans to know. GH viewers rushed to the comment section, with many of them begging Duell to return to the daytime drama. But will that ever happen? Rory Gibson's debut on the soap was explosive, and everything Michael has done since he returned to the land of Port Charles has been incredible. While some fans may be upset that Duell didn't come back to the ABC soap, as GH executive producer Frank Valentini did keep the door open for as long as he could, it seems as if Duell may not have been ready to reprise the character just yet. With that said, the landscape of GH can change at any given moment, so while Duell won't step foot in PC anytime soon, this doesn't mean this is the very last that fans will see of him as Michael Corinthos. Are you enjoying Rory Gibson's take on Michael Corinthos? Would you rather see him reunite with Willow Tate Corinthos, Sasha Corbin, or someone new? Weddings can really bring family and friends together, and during the process of planning one, so much excitement is felt throughout that many can hardly wait for the big day to come. General Hospital's Kate Mansi recently tied the knot with producer Matt McInnes, and boy, did they have a major surprise in store for their guests. It all started with the big date. Last month, Mansi posted a series of black and white pics with McInnes and stated, "Is it July yet? Can't wait to marry you." Given the couple got engaged on July 3, 2024, her family and friends didn't think otherwise and planned to attend their wedding this coming July. However, people got the exclusive scoop on what really went down when everyone showed up for what they thought had been an engagement party for the couple. When their 115 guests arrived at the Rembert restaurant in Los Angeles on May 31, they were stunned to learn that the couple was not getting married in July, as they had teased, but that they were about to witness their nuptials right then and there. Our biggest goal and hurdle was to maintain the surprise, Mancy told the magazine. We wanted that eruption of joy, that moment where love just takes over the room, and that it did. In thinking back to falling from Sinnes, Mancy recalled watching how he treated people around him at work. Everyone received the same warmth, respect, and infectious energy he's known for. She went on to express how she once told him during a quiet moment to buckle up, this is gonna go fast. Of his bride, McInnes shared just how much she inspires him and how she makes everyone around her better by nurturing qualities in them, which even they may not see at first. Not to mention how she loves with her whole heart. General Hospital spoilers remind fans that it was mere weeks ago that Willow Tate Corinthos quickly signed the rights of her kiddos over to Drew Kane, without thinking anything through. In a weird turn of events, Drew suggested she sign a document that gave him legal custody rights to Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos, should anything happen to her. While Michael Corinthos was still at the Baden-Baden Burn Clinic, it would be virtually impossible for Drew to gain access to the kids, even with this agreement. But what if something happened to Michael too? Things aren't good between Michael and Willow right now. It's not hard to imagine that these two could have a heated argument during the custody hearing that ended in disaster, especially in light of the truth coming out about Michael being the father of Sasha Corbin's child. What if they are at lookout point, get into a fight, and fall over the bridge? Something along the lines of Michael saying something terrible to Willow, where she slaps him, he loses his balance, and they both fall over the bridge into the water. Could both Willow and Michael land unconscious in the hospital? Could they both end up missing before their custody hearing is over? Could something of this nature have Drew pulling out the custody agreement he had Willow sign? It would be the perfect opportunity to do so, and get back not only Carly Spencer and Nina Reeves, but the entire Quartermain family for that matter. Drew has been on a roll when it comes to wreaking havoc in everyone's life, and gaining custody of Wiley and Amelia, even if it is only for the short term, would be a nightmare for everyone close to the children. Why have Willow sign an agreement like this if it was never going to come into play within a storyline? What would happen if something terrible happened to Michael and Willow? Would Drew pull out his guardianship agreement that Willow signed weeks ago? Comment below. Divorce court is finally in session in Port Charles. If you missed General Hospital today, Wednesday, June 4, 2025, here is a recap below. The Metro Court pool is open and ready for another summer of fun. Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson are ready for a dip, and Emma Drake meets them there. Jocelyn Jacks arrives shortly thereafter, and Emma sees as she walks over to a table where Professor Henry Dalton, Jen Sidwell, and Jordan Ashford are all making small talk. Henry explains that Joss is his new research assistant, and Sidwell asks her to join them. Henry talks a bit about his research until Joss is called away. Sidwell leaves as well, and Jordan tells Henry that she would love to read about his research. He says that it is still hush-hush and not ready for public scrutiny. While locking eyes with Emma, Dante Falconeri is struggling after finding out that he is Gio Palmieri's father. Gio wants nothing to do with him, and it reminds Dante of when he learned that Sonny Corinthos was his dad. He visits Sonny and apologizes for how he acted towards him 20 years ago. Sonny doesn't need the apology because they worked through it, and that's all that matters. Jason Morgan also spends a little time with Sonny, who feels like all that he can do at watch as his family falls apart. He can't help Gio or Dante to fix things, and he is furious with Lloyd Cirillo for lying to everyone. They are still family, but he is rightfully angry. Gio walks into the Quartermain kitchen to find Brooklyn Quartermain, Lois, and Gloria Cirillo fighting over him. He asks Brooklyn if her family made her give him away, and she tells him that it was her choice. Lois once again tries to explain that BLQ wanted him to have a better life than the one that she could have given him at the time. When he doesn't buy it, Gloria jumps in to yell at him. BLQ has a light bulb moment and asks if they pressured Camilla on her deathbed to keep the secret. Lois says that Camilla didn't want to die, leaving Gio feeling unloved, so she agreed to stay quiet. Alexis Davis begins her day being questioned by her newest employee, Marco Rios, who suggests that she might be in some sort of money laundering trouble and offers to help. She insists that the Dolos Fund is credible and that she knows what she's doing. She then gets a call from Rick Lansing, suggesting that she come to court because her always unpredictable daughter, Christina Corinthos, is on the witness list. Willow Corinthos is terrified as she arrives in court with Drew Kane and her mother, Nina Reeves. Tracy Quartermaine storms past Drew and then doubles back to apologize because she doesn't have any ketamine to give him. Sasha Corbin is off to the side with Jason, worrying that Rick somehow knows that she is carrying Michael Corinthos' baby. Diane Miller, who is representing Michael, tells the judge that Willow turned down a $5 million settlement, and Rick interjects that his client can't be bought. Carly Spencer is the first witness to testify on Michael's behalf. She details the video of Willow and Drew having sex in the nursery that was shown during the Quartermaine Christmas party and everything that followed after it. Harrison Chase is called to the stand to demolish Willow's character. He confirms that they were once married and that she cheated on him with Michael. Alexis shows up and drags Christina away before she can be called to testify. She is furious, but Alexis drives home the point that she has to do whatever she says in order to stay out of jail. Dante is next to testify, and he explains that Michael was not the intended target of the firebombing. Rick then makes him read part of Michael's criminal history out loud, and Dante explains the circumstances of his involuntary murder charge. Michael was trying to protect his mother and baby sister from Claudia, who was accidentally killed. Joss arrives at the last minute and details all of Willow's bad decisions, while Michael was seeking treatment for his third-degree burns. Tracy follows Joss and explains that she views Michael as the linchpin and future of the Quartermaine family. She admits to being charged with kidnapping Willie and Amelia after a lot of prodding by Rick. Check back here for more General Hospital recaps and spoilers. General Hospital spoilers reveal that a preview clip has been released for Wednesday, June 4, 2025. It shows Rick Lansing questioning Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Anna Devane puts pressure on Jack Brennan. Plus, Giovanni Gio Palmieri opens up to Emma Scorpio Drake. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in today's episode of the ABC soap opera. Let's begin with Anna, who will feel that she is on to something big. The commissioner puts some pressure on Brennan. This could be about that explosive device at Sonny's penthouse, which led to Michael Corinthos' injuries. Anna will talk to Jason Morgan about her new theory. Over at the Metro Court pool, Gio talks to Emma. Other than her, the only person that Gio trusts right now is Sonny. However, Gio also admits that he's not even sure about Sonny. Gio is having a really tough time with finding out he's been lied to his entire life. However, after some time, Gio might come to realize that everyone just loved him so much, and that's the real reason he was given to Camilla Palmieri. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Sonny will catch up with Laura. The mayor will warn Sonny that this could have a lot of repercussions. Since Gio just left Sonny, that is what the mob boss is probably talking to the mayor about. It seems Gio might have Sonny concerned. Maybe this whole situation will push Gio down a darker path than Sonny would like to see. In today's episode, fans can also expect Brooklyn Quartermaine to face off with Lulu Spencer. Lulu stands quietly as BLQ rips her into shreds. However, Lulu might take the time to explain that she didn't mean for things to blow up for everyone, including Gio, the way it did. What's done is done, and there isn't anything Lulu can do to take it back. So where does everyone go from here? Also, Rick asks Sasha when the last time she was passionate with Michael. Then Sasha begins to go into labor while on the stand. From a preview clip, it appears that Rick is badgering a pregnant woman in labor. So let's see what happens now. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Wednesday, June 4, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.